I just don't get it.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm studying math. Like, we learned Taylor series today, and I can't understand how to write new ones based off of the ones that we already know.
Well, it might look pretty difficult, but it's actually not that hard. It's pretty simple.
Really?
Here. Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
We're gonna write a Taylor series!
The most important part about writing a Taylor series is knowing the 4 main Taylor series we learned at the beginning of the unit. Number 1!
So the first Taylor series that you should memorize is sine of x. And so the general term is a summation of infinity when n equals 0 to -1 to the nth times x to the 2n plus 1 over 2n plus 1 factorial. And when expanded, you'll get x minus x to the 3rd over 3 factorial plus x to the 5th over 5 factorial minus x to the 7th over 7 factorial, and so on.
Number 2!
And so the second one that you should be memorizing is cosine of x. The general term is the summation of infinity when n equals 0, -1 to the nth power for the alternating behavior. And then, but this one is pretty similar, but it's x to the 2n over 2n factorial. And so when expanded out, these are going to be the even number exponents. So 1 minus x squared over 2 factorial plus x to the 4th over 4 factorial, and so on.
Number 3!
And then, so the third Taylor series you should memorize is e to the x. So the general term for this is the summation to infinity when n equals 0 of x to the nth power over n factorial. So basically all it's going to end up being is 1 plus x squared over 2 factorial plus x to the 3rd over 3 factorial, and so on.
Number 4!
And the very last series you should memorize is 1 over 1 minus x. Ta-da! And so this one, the general term is the summation to infinity when n equals 0, x to the n, and that's it. That equals 1 plus x squared plus x cubed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is the first problem on the worksheet, and so we're going to do it together. Peyton's going to walk you through it.
Okay, so the first part of the problem is find the first 4 non-zero terms in the general term for the Maclaurin series for the function f of x equals 5e to the x squared. So the first thing you want to do when solving these kinds of problems is make sure that you know the original series you guys have memorized. So in this one it would be e to the x, and then you would just write out that general term and then like the first 4 terms of the series. So I'm going to do that right now real fast. And this is just like for reference. It makes it easier when you're going through and trying to figure out what the new terms are going to be in your new series that you are creating. And then it goes on. So then the next thing you want to do is you're going to want to try and manipulate your x. So in this one it's x squared. So you are going to just go through each term and change x to x squared. And in your general term, it's now going to become x to the n plus 2 because you just multiply it by x squared on the top of the general term, and when you're multiplying the two, the exponents add together. So that would be something like this. That is an n, not an m, sorry. and that would be x to the n plus 2 over n factorial. And then, since there's not an x in the first term, it's still going to be 1. But then you go through and you replace each x. So this would become x squared times x plus, x squared times x squared over 2 factorial plus x squared times x cubed over 3 factorial, and then adds on, which also can be written like this, which will make it easier to move on into the next one. So you would start with 1 plus x cubed plus x to the 4th over 2 factorial plus x to the 5th over 3 factorial plus ... Hopefully you can read that. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're just going to add the constant in the front. So you're going to multiply by 5, and you would just multiply by 5 on the top part in your general term, like this. That is an x, because I guess I can't write today. And then you would multiply all of the terms by 5. So 1 times 5 is 5 plus 5 times x cubed plus 5 times x to the 4th over 2 factorial plus 5 times x to the 5th over 3 factorial equals or plus ...
Ta-da! There's your answer.
Yay, for part 1. Now the second part is the function of g of x equals the integral of f of x dx. So write the first 4 non-zero terms for the Maclaurin series for g of x. So all you do for this is you just take the integral of each term. So you would write it as like g of x, which equals, the integral of f of x dx equals, so the integral of 5 would be 5x, and then you take the integral of the next one, which would be 5/4 x cubed, and I'll put a parentheses around it because fractions are confusing. This is to the 4th because I made a mistake, but that's okay. People make mistakes sometimes. Anyways, we're going to continue on. And then the next one would be plus x to the 5th over 2 factorial. And your last one would be plus 5, 6, x to the 6th. Plus 3 factorial, and then a little tiny plus ... And that's it.
Ta-da!
Yay!